Did y'all miss me? Welcome back to Knitting in the Meantime, Chapter 6. Took a break. I had family in town. Still have family in town. I, yeah. We did a bunch of stuff. Turn that off. It's distracting. Um, so yeah. I have a younger sister. She doesn't live in Florida. We haven't seen her in a really long time. We talk and we text and everything, and we do like FaceTime and whatnot. But we haven't seen her in like in person in a while. So yeah, that was last week. I was going around cleaning because I was like, well, great, I'm not posting a video during the time that she was here. And because of that, obviously there wasn't any video, but I also had way too much time on my hands. Never a good thing. And so I'm going around cleaning because my mom's like, you need to clean. And I was like, my house is clean, but sure. Um, and I was cleaning the bathtub. There's about this much space between the bathtub and the toilet, and I don't know what I did. All I know was that after that, my ankle swelled up and I was very uncomfortable. Still am. I am now the proud owner of a cane aptly named Krampus. Yeah, I know. But wait, there's more! There's more to tell, which I'm kind of glad that I took a break because now I have tons of things to tell you about. And some of them are funny and some of them are not. Honestly, me getting injured, this is not new. It happens to me a lot. But it's also funny because it tends to happen at the most inconvenient time. Like in this case, when my sister's in town and they want to do stuff, and I'm like, I can't walk. Like, I'm not supposed to be on it. I'm supposed to be icing it and adding heat and ice and whatever. And it just, here we go. It's better, I think. Is it? Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, so they did the Disney thing. They did the Universal thing. Um, I was totally fine when they got here because they got here on Monday and I was fine. And I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday that I got hurt, and they had um, bought tickets for us to go with them to Welcome to Rockville. Lee man, quit your crap. Thank you. Drink your coffee, drink your tea, drink your water. This thing is being impossible today. So yeah, they got us tickets to Welcome to Rockville. I got a t-shirt. I'm a free elf. Um, so yeah, it's a rock festival, heavy metal type music and whatnot. And I wasn't gonna go because you have to walk around in these things. And if your ankle is hurting, the last thing you want to do is be walking around, right? Right. So, Um, I really didn't see my sister much during the week last week. They were doing all this stuff, and then on Saturday, I had invited them over. So I come up to my house on Saturday because they've never met my dogs, Bacon and Pancakes, the dynamic duo. And so they came over, but like I made homemade pizza. They had my dad had bragged about this pizza, and my sister was like, "Yeah, I'll try it." Cool, cool. That pizza dough, it's homemade. It takes 5 hours to make because you have to let it rise a couple of times before you even use it. And because of that, that meant that I was standing up for about a total of 6.5 hours on a bad ankle. Not a good idea. Did I care? No. I was in a lot of pain by the end of the day, and this is actually true. Everybody was having a great time and whatever, and I kept having to come to my room, which is where I am right now, and sit down and elevate um, my foot and whatnot. So it wasn't very pleasant, but they were trying to be so cool about it, and I am grateful that they were cool about it. And they kept coming into the room, and they kept talking to me, and we kept trying to have a good time and whatever. And I would get up every so often because it actually like it hurts to sit down for long periods of time, and I am very active, meaning I very rarely do I sit down. I'm always like standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, doing things and whatnot. So this has been a total drag. But the good thing that did happen on Saturday was that my husband got skunk drunk. I know what you're thinking. How is this like a good thing? Listen, I don't think he even realized what was happening. And the whole time we're joking around and whatever, and we had a good time, and we were laughing, and we were making fun of him, and they were making fun of me. It was great. Um, but I was like, well, I can't go because I was really on Saturday. I was in a lot of pain, and I was like, there is no way that I'm gonna go to one of these things not with this much pain. So I was just like, but take Jerry with you. Now Jerry is drunk, skunk drunk. I mean, it's bad, really bad. And I was like, just take him with you. Like, I'm not trying to pass the buck or anything, but honestly, my husband gets into these. Sometimes he does that, and it's just like, I'm trying to spare his poor mother the I love you man call and spare myself listening to him with the I love you man situation. Listen, it's hilarious. It's great. But after like a couple of hours of that, you kind of get sick and tired of it. So I just went like, take him with you. And I may have threatened my brother-in-law, Josh. Josh, I love you. You're a good brother-in-law. Um, actually, all my brother-in-laws are awesome. But he was in charge of Jerry, and they took him to Welcome to Rockville. He didn't realize what was happening until I think he was in the car already, and they were halfway there when he realized what was happening. He said that he opened his eyes and he just went like, okay, what's happening? To me, it was totally hilarious. But wait, there's more. They'll be needing, don't worry. Chill, chill. I got tons of stories to tell you. And this is fun. We're just hanging out. Um, so yeah. So by the time they got to the concert, I am told that he kept saying that he was seeing double. Yeah, fun. Um, and I guess they saw gore and whatnot. And I don't know if you've heard, but apparently there was an area where they had this band, brass something or another, and apparently the one lady peed on someone. Like this was a willing person, willing to have this done to them. Um, I wasn't there, so obviously. And when I did go, which was on Sunday, no one peed on me, so I'm safe. But wait, there's more. So anyway, back to Saturday. We're staying on Saturday for a little bit. So my husband does that. He came to the realization at some point that he was there by himself, that I wasn't there with him. He was with my brother-in-laws, both of them, and with both my sisters. And he just felt very uncomfortable because we're not used to going out on our own. Usually we go everywhere together. We're those weirdos that like to hang out with each other. I get dragged to um, Lowe's, Home Depot, the nerd stores, like comic book stores, gaming stores, and such. And my husband gets dragged to yarn stores. Um, so, to us, it's like normal. We're used to doing that. We're not used to going out separate. So he was not very happy about that. He even told me, he was like, I realized how codependent we are, that I felt so uncomfortable you not being there. And I was like, well, it's not like I could. I was like, I'm injured. Might as well, one of us might as well go. Yeah. So they told me they were going to bring him home. In his craziness, he forgot his keys. So he managed to do something, and actually, he managed to get into the house. That much I know. Because he was trying to be graceful and not wake me up. He woke me up. I opened my eyes, saw him. He was snoring, and I was like, great. Went back to sleep. Too much fun to be had. Too much fun to be had. I did finish my niece's socks, and I gave them to her on Monday. So I did take a photo, and I posted it on Instagram, um, of the finished bleh, bleh, object. Words. I promise I know them. So, anyways, Sunday morning comes, 3:30 in the morning. I hear the coffee grinder. I use coffee beans for my coffee. And if you've never tried it, you should. It's a different flavor. I like the French dark roast. Delicious. Not too acidic, but it's really good. It has like a hint of, like, it tastes like someone added cocoa powder to the coffee. Mm, I like it. So yeah, so there we are. It's 3:30 in the morning on a Sunday when I did not need to wake up at 3:30 in the morning, but I was woken up at 3:30 in the morning. Apparently, while they were at Welcome to Rockville on Saturday, I'm assuming someone came up with this plan because I love my husband. He is awesome. But he wouldn't be able to come up with a plan like that. That kind of elaborate manipulation. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he did. He probably did. I'm probably just underestimating. So, anyways, here we go. Sunday, 3:30 in the morning. I hear coffee being made. I got up, grabbed myself a cup of coffee, head to the porch. It is cold on Sunday morning. we had a cold front. And by cold, I mean low 50s, almost 40s, which I guess is cold for other people too, but for me it was cold. My ankle's hurting. I'm literally limping around, very uncomfortable, but I persevere. This is a fun part. This is the fun part that you're gonna enjoy. Fart. Yes, we were talking about that too at some point. Boys and their conversations. It always ends up in farts and shits, doesn't it? Anyways, so there I was, minding my business, enjoying my first cup of coffee. You know, I'm alive. My sister's in town. I'm having a great time. I've been laughing. We've been joking. I mean, it's been great. It's awesome. Despite the fact that I was like completely annoyed with myself for getting injured at the most inconvenient time. I'm just telling you. Oh, one thing I forgot about Saturday. I won a giveaway from my friend Ninette. I'm very excited about that. And I was like, when I saw it, I was crying because I was annoyed with myself for getting injured. But at the same time, then I started crying even more when I saw that I had won that, because I was just like, I just think that day so much better. Yeah, that was me on Saturday. This is before everybody showed up for pizza. So anyway, back to Sunday. I'm enjoying my coffee. And my husband comes over with his own cup of coffee. Naturally. Starts talking to me. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you talking to me before my first cup of coffee? Because I'm not going to remember this, like at all, in like 5 minutes. So, of course, he was talking to me about all the cool things that happened during Welcome to Rockville Saturday night. He's telling me all these things and whatever. I'm like, oh, that's great, babe. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. And I meant that. Because I'm actually happy whenever one of us gets to get out of the house and gets to do something fun, because we rarely do that. We should, but we don't. So, yeah. I don't see me bringing my kids to that Welcome to Rockville concert. I keep having to repeat it the right way because I kept saying Rockville and people had no idea what I was talking about before. So, Welcome to Rockville. It is. So anyways, he's telling me all these stories and whatever, and then he goes like, your sisters kind of missed you at this thing. I'm like, well, I'm sorry I got injured and that I can't go. Because normal people don't go to those things if they're injured. Or so I thought. I was wrong. So he kept talking about this and bringing my sisters into it, because my sisters were probably sleeping. They weren't even there, but they were brought into the conversation. My brother-in-laws were sleeping, and they were brought into the conversation. And at some point, I just got sick of listening to this crap. And I just said, fine, I will go. If it gets you to shut up about it, because I am over it now. And then I started angry crying again. Because I am annoyed with myself because I am injured. So at 5:30 in the morning, both my sisters got a text that said, "Fine, I'll go." And that was that. And I kept thinking to myself, I think I have crutches in the van, so I'll just use those. I didn't see the crutches in the van. So, I know what you're thinking. Holy crap, she was like dragging or hopping or something around. Yes, yes, I was. I went. We kept having to stop. I was slowing everybody down. I felt bad about that, but they wanted me to go, so I went. I also felt bad about the fact that I kept having to sit down, and I actually got a band because they give you like you could go. There's an area where you could register for the for they kept calling it ADA, so I'm assuming that that's what it was called. And there's an area where you could, as long as you have that band, you can actually sit in an area. They have a special area for wheelchairs. It's wheelchair accessible. It's got all these things and whatever. It's like, well, that's really cool. I think I'm gonna go sit over there for a while because at this point I am like, I was in so much pain by the time that um we were able to sit down that I just kind of went like, you know what? I'm just happy I can sit down. So, yeah. I sat down. I think I stayed there for like 2 hours maybe because we got there around 3-ish. So I sat there for like until like around 5 or something, or like 4:30 or 5, something like that. And I went ahead, and by then, the pain had subsided some, and I was able to stand up and I was able to walk around, which felt good to like get up and walk around. Those seats that they have are not very comfortable to begin with, so obviously getting up and walking around was actually a good thing anyways, because I don't have a fracture, I just have a slight sprain, and I already feel like it's getting better. So we had blankets, or I guess my sisters had brought blankets. So I was just like, you know what? I would much rather sit on the floor, give up my seat to somebody who really deserves it. Because they had all kinds of people in the, you know, um, disability area, which um, I was like, I am not technically disabled. I just sprained my ankle. I can sit on the floor and I'll be fine. So after like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I went ahead, gave up my seat. I still had the band, so that gave me access to a bathroom, which wasn't very far from where I was, which was a good thing because honestly, walking long distances was like very difficult. So, oh, don't mind me. I'm just knitting on my reindeer. You can't see it. Reindeer game sweater. I split for the sleeves. I did that yesterday. And now I'm just knitting. Knit, knit, knit. So, anyways, couldn't bring my knitting with me. Bummer. But we had a good time. There was a lot of people there. I did a lot of people watching. But I got to see the avoid people were kind of awesome. I did like them. I don't think I've ever seen them before. Um, it was good. This is gonna be long because obviously I wasn't around last week, so I'm trying to give you like a bonus. And I'm trying to figure out to get my. I'm having issues with connecting my phone, so that way, yeah. So I'm gonna try a switcheroo and see what I can do about that, and maybe try to send the video to my phone, and then just edit from there, because I have a bunch of stuff from last week, but yeah, I can insert them or something. I don't know. I'm not very good at this just yet, so I'm working on it though. Anyways, yeah, we saw Avoid. Um, who else? There was someone else. There was oh my god, I can't remember what the name of it was. Anyways, skip that one because I don't know who, I can't remember their name. But I know we saw Mudvayne, which I've never seen. Um, Great, you know, always great. Um, they had Metallica was the closing, I suppose. They also had Leonard Skinner, another band that I've never seen but always wanted to. I know it's not the same as, you know, the OG Leonard Skinner, but I was super happy. You understand. Every time that we go visit uh, the in laws, we drive through Alabama. So, and for some reason, that song is always on. But that was not the song that I wanted to listen to. It was Freebird. I really like that song. So, and if you don't believe me, go look at my Instagram feed. It's there like 20 times. I'm horrible about those things. I get stuck in the loop of listening to the same songs. It all depends on what's going on in my head, which usually it's just, you know, me dealing with a bunch of things that I shouldn't be dealing with. However, so I think it was just before Metallica went on. It was very cold. Um, Cold for us. Okay. Um, so there was a cold front. Fun. And because of this cold front, unfortunately, it started getting cold. It's like 6:30 in the evening, and you could feel the temperature dropping. And I was like, we are so not equipped for this right now. So I was sitting on the floor on a blanket, and then it was like, it started to get cold, of course. And I was like, okay. So me and Jerry were in one blanket, my sisters and their husbands were in another blanket. So I just literally wrapped the blanket around me, wrapped my leg on the blanket really, because the cold was actually making it hurt more. But wait, it gets better. So we're just sitting there and whatever. Me and Jerry, we watch. Like I said, we have this joke about the Alaska shows that we watch, but you do learn a lot of good things from it. So me and Jerry were huddling up for warmth because we were cold and there wasn't a whole lot that we could do about it. Um, we had there's no reentry. Once you're in, you're in, and like I grabbed a jacket from my van, and I had my Estrella sweater with me, but I left it in the van because I was like, if I bring this and something happens to it, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. You know, that is definitely um, It's not something that I want to for it to get ruined or anything. It's those little stitches, like when you have the seam and you just did the seam, that just kind of get me every time. They slow me down a little bit. So anyways, here we go. Sitting there, we're huddling for warmth. And my husband's like, oh, they have Anthrax, and I'm gonna go see him, because I've never seen them in concert before. Never mind that they had screens and speakers that you can watch from where we were at. He had to go in person. He had a good time. He was super excited because it's been a really long time since we've been to a concert, about 20 years, I think, because is it 20? I want to say he said 20 years, but I think it's less than that. We used to go to free concerts in downtown Orlando all the time, before we had kids. We just haven't in a while. Like 20 years. So anyways, my mom had the kids. All the kids. That's 5 kids. She had my 3 and my sisters each have 1. And luckily, I think Harper is the youngest, but for the most part, they're teenagers, so they kind of do their own thing, and they were having a lot of fun, so I wasn't too worried about it. I figure if someone gives us a call, that there was a problem, but there wasn't. Of course not. So eventually, it got really cold, and we were just wrapped in blankets. They kept feeding me food, though, and they kept trying to push me to drink water, and I didn't want to drink too much water because, if you're my ankle is swollen, my ankle hurts, it's cold, and I'm thinking to myself, even if the bathroom is no more than, I don't know, 15, 20 feet from where I'm standing, I still have to walk there. And I was walking very slow because every step just hurt. So I honestly was like, please don't give me water. Apparently that's the wrong thing to do. You're supposed to hydrate. So, but I had a good time. I did a lot of people watching. So here is a short list of all the characters I saw while we were at Welcome to Rockville. Number 1, Jesus. Jesus was there. There was an angel. Santa Claus. I was actually hoping that I would see Krampus. Nobody dressed up as Krampus. There was a person with a panda bear mask. Let's see what else. There was a bunch of others. Captain Marvel, Mario and Luigi from Super Mario Brothers. Who else is there? Really, man? Thank you. Who else? There was somebody dressed as a ghost. They had like a sheet, a white sheet on them, and it had like cut off eyes and stuff, which I thought was kind of, here's a C for effort. Still pretty cool though. I actually sat there laughing a lot because all the things that kept happening around, I couldn't walk around like everybody else, and I couldn't just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to this area to watch this concert. And me, I feel bad for, well, at first I felt bad for Jerry because he was the original person that was basically with me. And then he went off to be with my brother-in-laws and watch whatever it is that they, you know, I don't know what area they were at. But, um, hold on. I'm trying to, I keep track of my rows, every single row, so that way I don't screw this up. So yeah, after a while it was getting really cold. And unfortunately, um, I said, you know what? I am in so much pain and I am cold and I am very uncomfortable. Can we go sit in the van? Because we took my van, obviously. You can fit 8 people in it. So we went, me and Jerry said, okay, well, we're going to go sit in the van and, we'll wait for you guys. Because Metallica was about to go on stage. So I was like, okay, but we had premium parking. And the funny thing was that from our van, you could see the concert and you could hear it. All you had to do was like crack the window open a little bit, and you could hear it and you could see it. So we're just like, oh, okay, so we're not gonna miss out. I personally started going on YouTube and watching Johnny Bo Dies because I was just like not a very happy camper. And so we had the heater going on in the van and the heated seats. They were all the way too high because we were like cold, shivering. We grabbed every single sweater, jacket, or whatever we could find in the van and was just throwing it on top of each other just to like trying to get warm because by the time we got home, it said it was 52 degrees, but it felt colder. It felt like it was in the 40s. I could barely feel my left leg. I mean, that's how cold it was. So, at some point, my brother-in-laws decided it's too cold. Screw this. We already saw Metallica on Friday. Let's go. So, like about 20 minutes, maybe more than that, they show up. They're like, we're cold. I'm like, well, the van is warm because the heater's on and, you know, you'll be alright. Get in the van. You're letting all the heat out! It was funny. Yeah. While we were there, my brother-in-law, Will, said, I want you to make me socks out of Merry Christmas, the shitter's full. Can you see it? Nope, you can't. There we go. So yeah, he wants socks out of this. I did it. Awesome. I told him that Harper had claimed it and that he was gonna have to negotiate. There was gonna have to be some type of negotiation with Harper because she had already claimed the color. I actually bought that for Jerry, but everybody else started fighting for it. Weirdos. They want socks. You know what? I'm not even gonna. Because it's still hilarious. And this is when you see me snorting. Because I start laughing so hard. No one needs to see that. Fun fact. Yeah. I posted a video on Instagram on Monday of my brother-in-law trying to negotiate with Harper for the yarn. So, of course, as you can only imagine, Harper did not come out on top. But that's okay. Because I had already anticipated that something similar would happen. So I had ordered Goth Like Christmas 2 from Pretty Twisted Yarns. So Harper knows that eventually she's gonna get. Harper's always claiming yarn that I order. Like, this is for me. It's like the Feed Me Seymour one. Yeah, she did the same thing. She's like, it's mine! Mine, I tell you! And I was like, okay. So, anyways, it was actually pretty funny watching my brother-in-law trying to negotiate with Harper. And that wasn't, I actually didn't post all the video. That's only part of it, because they kept going back and forth. There was some talk about stuffing Harper in a suitcase because she wants to go to Idaho. It's like, we'll stuff you in a suitcase. Could you imagine? What are you gonna do if you have to go pee? I'm just saying. So yeah, I had a good time though. We got home on Sunday night, and I was just dead to the world, honestly, at that point. Well, we were in the van waiting for the rest of our companions. Jerry was like, I'll pull out the electric blanket, and when we get home, so that way, it's so cold outside and whatnot, and so obviously you already got the cold part down. Now we just need to heat up your ankle area. The good news was that I was able to, like, I felt a little bit better after that, so I was actually kind of happy. But in the morning, Jerry's birthday's next week, so apparently, yeah, I think it's next week. Is it next week? It is next week. Or is it during the weekend? No, it's on the weekend. Anyways, I bought him a table saw for his birthday. He's very excited. He really wanted it. So, I'm just glad that he got it. So, yeah. While he was out, or in the morning before he left, he was like, I'm gonna buy you a cane. Because when I originally hurt my left foot, I had told the people at the emergency room, I'm like, I am missing bones and tendons on my left hand. So I have no grip. Like, this is just for show. So it doesn't have any grip. This is basically the only movement that I have. So I can't grip things like a normal person would. So you giving me crutches, it's kind of like useless. You're just asking for me to fall down because I have no grip. So anyways, my sister had mentioned around that time, maybe you should get yourself a cane. I never did because honestly, I never thought that I would have to use it. It's not the first time I've hurt my ankle. It's certainly not going to be the last, as I am accident prone. I am often looking for the floor and I often find it. I'm just saying, I am that person. I literally, you want to know how I originally injured my foot? It was hilarious. I actually like injured my foot getting out of bed. I was getting up. I had gotten home from taking all the kids from school. I sat down to knit on a sock. I was like, well, I'm going to knit on the sock and then I'm going to make myself some breakfast. Um, and I was like, okay, great. I went to get up. I don't know what I stepped on or if I stepped on anything at all. And I ended up falling and my foot did this number. So let's say that this is the normal foot. It did this number all the way to the back, and then it just stopped right there. Now it hurt. Like I am like shaking and I'm by myself in the house with the dogs. I grabbed my phone. I managed to grab my phone because my phone was on the bed and it was close to where I was. And I had shoes on. So I'm trying to take off my shoe. And to tell you, it actually, it swelled up so fast that even taking off the shoe hurt. So I'm just like I literally had to yank the shoe off my foot. So anyways, I called Jerry, obviously. He's my husband. He's the one that gets to deal with this crap for the rest of his life, right? He's so lucky. Anyways, I called Jerry at the time of the injury. It's like I felt it made a loud cracking noise. I'm pretty sure it's broken. You need to take me to the emergency room. Well, I am in the middle of something right now that I can't stop doing, so just hang tight. I'll be there as soon as I can. I'm in pain. I managed to pull myself from the floor to the bed. And I called my mom because I was like, well, maybe my mom is able to take me like ASAP. No, my mom was at the getting her vehicle's oil changed, and I'm like, okay. So at this point, I am hurting. I'm hurting really, really bad. And of course, my dogs, being the little jerks that they can be, decided we need to go outside and pee right now. And I was like, yeah. I try not to curse on my videos, but that was a very epic moment in my life, so I'm just gonna say it. Fuck my life. Yeah, that precise moment. So I got up, dragged myself. I'm like crying because I'm in pain. And I got myself up, led the dogs out, managed to sit in the porch. And I was like, okay, this is bad. This is really bad. My foot was throbbing. I was just like, I am going to pass out from the pain. My mom calls me back, tells me that she is almost done, to hang tight. Jerry calls me back. He is trying to he was trying to figure out what he could do so he can get home to get me to the emergency room. And at the time I was babysitting one of my neighbor's kids after school. So of course this happened in the morning, not after school. Um, and I sent her a text and I explained to her that, I've had this accident. I'm getting ready to go to the emergency room. I'm not going to be able to watch your kids. I get there to the emergency room 2 hours after I fell. They tell me, well, you have a, what was it? Acute trauma to your ankle. But we couldn't find a fracture. So we're going to put it in, we're going to wrap it up for you. We're going to give you some crutches. We're going to send you home. Don't do anything crazy. Light duty only. If you can avoid it, just don't do anything. Sit on your, sit down, keep it elevated, alternate heat and cold, and whatnot. Okay. And here are these crutches. I turned to the doctor and I said, please don't give me crutches because I am missing bones and tendons in my left hand and I cannot do that. I left the hospital with crutches because they kind of didn't listen. And I was telling my younger sister who called, obviously. She was like, "Are you okay? What happened?" And I was like telling her what happened and whatnot, and she's like, "They couldn't give you a cane." Like apparently that wasn't an option because they gave me crutches, and this is not going to end well. And I'm not a negative person. I kind of power through and persevere as much as possible. But, it is what it is. I fell more times with those things than I did when I walked without it. So, yeah. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I now own a cane, which was purchased for me on Monday after the whole Welcome to Rockville situation. And then, of course, because, like I said, sometimes my family does not let me live things down, there was a lot of fun talk about the cane. Because apparently, some unsavory characters like to smack people with their canes. I'm not sure. I'm not an unsavory person. I mean, I did think about it because people were starting to get on my last nerve yesterday, but I didn't. I did, however, let the kids name the cane Krampus because yeah. Because why not? Come on. But despite the craziness at Rockville, or welcome to Rockville, I did have fun while my sister was here. I'm glad she came. She should do it more often. Um, she might be coming back like early next year in the spring, so I'm kind of excited about that. I'm also going to be uber extra careful and try not to injure myself so I can actually enjoy some of the stuff because it kind of sucked. Like I said, I got pretty frustrated and I was crying because I was frustrated. I want to say that I did this to myself, but I obviously didn't because accidents, you don't do them to yourself. But it was just very, very, very inconvenient. And that's kind of like the story of my life. Hello, let's just find the most inconvenient moment to do something that's just gonna affect everything. Still got up and went to the stupid thing. Still got up and made pizza. Because why not? Plus, it's delicious. And I was gonna make a new one. It was, it was kind of like a pizza that was kind of like a mock up of artichoke spinach dip. It actually was really tasty. I'm actually really excited about that. I definitely want to make that one again. And then we did the classics, obviously. But yeah. My auntie got here on Monday. Got to give her a big hug. And I got to hang out. We got to hang out for a little while. But I was pretty tired, as you can only imagine. Jerry was tired. I think we were all just exhausted, and we were just like, hey, we love you, we appreciate you, but we gotta go home. This is like way too much, and right now I don't, you know. Eventually things just kind of died down, and we were just like, man, let's go. There was some talks about like about next year, stuff like that, which was great. There was a lot of joking around yesterday as they were traveling back yesterday, and while after they got home, they started texting about things and whatnot, and I found out about. I mean, my sister bought me this T-shirt. It says Daytona Beach, and I believe it says 2021 somewhere. It's got like the bands and stuff, and the days and like whatever in the back. And I guess she bought me a different one, which she had shown me, and I thought, okay, great, like awesome. But I didn't think that she was buying that shirt for me. Apparently, there was some confusion there. Yeah. So she left it behind. She also left behind like two blankets, and I can't remember what else. It's like every day my mom finds something, and for some reason it gets sent back here. I'm telling you. Jerry cleaned up the garage yesterday, and he was like, I understand. They should be a sign in here that says the pit of despair, because this is where everything comes to die. Where everything just I mean, there was so much crap in the garage. And with the table saw, he was like, I'll have no space to do any type of work. And so, again, we go back to what we talked about in one of the chapters before. Like, you need to have a thing, because you are not going to survive if you don't have a thing that you can do that gives you, like, some type of, like, happiness, that you can enjoy the process, and that you feel good after you're done with your project. So he's starting to see the light. I was actually kind of happy about that. It made me really glad that I bought him that table saw. And by the way, when I say I bought him the table saw, was that he was harassing me for an entire month, telling me that that's what he wanted. And I said, okay, hon, go buy it. That's all I did. And he's going around telling people that my wife is so awesome. I love her. I was like, love you too, babe. Where's my sock cranking machine? I'm working on it. Excellent. I apparently have to knit my brother-in-law a size 12 pair of socks. Luckily, they're shorties, so he likes shorties, so I lucked out on that one, because if he would have been like, I want crew size, I would have been like, Bro, can we just make him shorties? It's like willow socks. I very rarely make them, like crew size. I make them shorties. Because she wears a size 10. And I don't hate knitting socks, but it's just lately knitting socks has not been my jam. I did cast on something, but I don't think it's here. No, it's in the van. I forgot it. I had the sock blank from Andrea, the cat lady. And I cast it on a tube. It's just a tube. I'm not doing anything special with it, honestly. Not right now. But eventually I will put, once it's done, I'll go ahead and do heels, toes, and cuffs, and it will be something eventually. Like a butterfly. My deadline for the sweater is Monday. I split for the sleeve yesterday. I actually grabbed my Knit Picks cables and the stoppers because they were available, and I figured they was like, why not? But since the last video, which I'm trying to find where is it? Okay. So on the last video, I just found it. See, cool. I was here, and I've done all of this, and I split for the sleeves. I had to measure Jerry so many times to make sure that that it would fit, because it's not the same. I guess I don't know. When I was trying it on Jerry, it was weird because this is the third size from the Reindeer Games by Megan Reagan. Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. And I guess now she has a, like, if you go in her bio on Instagram, you can click on the link tree. I believe she has a link to her Etsy shop and also to the Ravelry. To her Ravelry. So yeah. And I do have Ravelry. It's Chris King Notary. I used to post a bunch of stuff. Well, I didn't post a lot of stuff. I post little things. I really don't anymore. Mostly because I don't have the time to just sit there and think about it. I have Knit Companion. Knit Companion is my friend. Which reminds me, next month I have to do the subscription thingy for Knit Companion again. So yeah, I split for the sleeves yesterday. I've been trying to knit on it as much as I can. It's Wednesday, like I said, it's my day off. I'm just rambling. I might delete this video anyways. I've done that way too many times and people kind of hate it. But it is actually an hour long at this point. I was trying to upload photos from my phone to my computer so I can edit my video and just add the add the photos and add the videos that I took at Rockville. Welcome to Rockville. Yeah, I will continue to call it Rockville. No offense. It was fun. but it wasn't doing that. So I figure I try something else. I will record my video and then try to upload the video to my phone and see if I can do it that way, because for some reason my computer is being dumb and it's actually giving me a lot of negative vibes. I just can't. I just can't. You know what I mean? Just can't. So, and I've been sitting here chit chatting and BSing for an hour, and I am not very happy about it. So I might just delete it and start over. I might just delete it and just record from my phone. I might do that. I think I'm gonna do that. Anyways, if I don't see you, love you, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out for a really long time with me, longer than usual, as I just rambled on and knit on my sweater um, about last week with the family. I know, such fun content. Anyways, later.